What's happening with Relics? When are we going to see them released? Well, we can sort of answer that. Battlegrounds has returned back, as we know, when it went all scuffed on Monday, but are there still tons of bugs and things that will need to be addressed when it's in some sort of off-season? The inventory cap will need to be expanded, especially for free-to-play players in the future. We're going to look into the issues of Tier 6 class Catalyst and Tier 6 Basic and what that presents for players, and as well those that are non-spending within the game, and so much more. Namaste and good day everybody, welcome back to the MCN for Wednesday. Very exciting because we've got big content drop day today. We're going to be covering so many things on the channel. We're going to look at 7 stars, Elder difficulty, we're doing a side quest kind of deep dive, how it works this month, all those fantastic things that we cover on the channel on a monthly basis. So make sure you are locked to the channel and also Twitter and all those things to be notified when videos are out. We kick off the show with a follow-up story from last week. This is all about the wrong Battleground Alliance rank rewards. If you remember, that particular coverage looked at the fact that there were one type of alliance that did say same type of points as another, but their rewards were a lot less. So it looked like there was incorrect rank rewards going out to certain players and certain alliances, and that's not fair in the slightest. On the 14th of October, it was acknowledged by Kabam that it was a bug and it impacted a small amount of players. But sadly, and the kind of update on this particular situation is that there's been no resolution nearly 1 month on from this being kind of exposed as an issue. As of the 9th of November today, I've had no update on a message that I sent to them over the weekend, and as well this thread has no update as well. I hope that Kabam look into this and get it resolved. I'm sure that a lot of other players as well, if this is affecting a small amount of people, the larger amount of the community would sympathise with the fact that, look, if you weren't getting your rewards, you'd be pretty pissed off about it as well. So I'm hoping this is resolved. Hold strong, people in this thread, these players. I'm sure Kabam will resolve it. They have to resolve it. It'd be incredibly unfair if they did not. Now, just quickly onto a small story before we get into the big juicier topics. This is like the vegetables, and then we're getting into the meats of things. So, inventory caps are very important for players, especially those that are free to play. As free to play players, non-spending players like myself, want to continue on. We want to see inventory caps increase. They need to be increased, especially when it comes to grabbing the amount of resources we require. Currently in game, like, we need more access to tier 3 alphas and as well tier 6 basics, and to a lesser degree tier 5 class catalysts, especially when it comes to the future and rank 5ing 6-star champions. And it's very much can be seen at the moment when, you know, you need 3 tier 6 class catalysts to rank 5 a champion, but at the moment you can only hold 2 tier 6 class catalysts in slot as a non-spending player. Now, I don't know if I don't buy the Summoner Sigil anymore. Haven't done that since I went non-spending. So I kind of like go away from these kind of like extended inventories, because it's an unrealistic expectation for non-spending players to kind of like look at this and feel like, oh great, you know, we can get all this stuff hoarded up, so therefore we don't have anything that overspills into our stash and we have to make rash decisions. Yes. If you've seen, a lot of people have seen, and appreciate everybody that's seen the video I put out on Sunday about the future and the chase rewards, and kind of covering that and how it's going to be a very mental time, a little dissection video there. It did look at the extent of what Cyber Weekend could do to add in these things like relics, embers, alloys, 7-star shards, and rank 5 6-star materials. Those 5 things there. Very crucial 5 things for MCOC in the future. Now we go into our more meatier coverage, and this is, first of all, this is about Battlegrounds, okay? As we know, 7th of November, there was a big outage. 11:30 AM PT time, which I think was very late for me in the UK, but Battlegrounds went down. The mode is back up and running, and I wouldn't say it's fine. Definitely going into the last kind of latter points of Monday, it was starting to get a bit scuffy. Very odd. It was like a case that prior to the update, it's like Kabam updated to 37.0, and then when other players updated it as well, they were seeing really weird bugs. Which, if you follow me on Twitter, then you'll know that I was posting about like something where it just went, again, black screen result, and I got the loss, and I was thinking like, what? I didn't even participate in a fight. Like, it was round 1, and it was just like, I completed the fight, and it just went black screen. And that's a bug that a lot of players have got, by the way. I'm not saying it's just me. But it was very weird that then everybody seemed to get it. For reference, it was this one here. So you see, like, I haven't done even a run, I haven't done like round 1, and it's just like, yeah, you lost. Great, that's fantastic. But look, the situation around Battlegrounds is that it was brought back, which they brought it back, they brought it down after 5 minutes to then kind of like, you know, address it, and then it wasn't until the afternoon, so it probably was like very early time, UK time. It was tentatively re-enabled, allowing the mode to settle for a moment, and if there are any further issues, we'll re-evaluate. But there are issues. If you see this, shout out to, is it Chris Reb, who kind of like says about this, where we've got some very weird things with, well, health pools and attack ratings and stuff like that. So yeah, if you're thinking you're going up against some other champion that's kind of got nearly 200,000 health pool, for example, of the various different types of things right here, you might be mistaken by that one. There is some visual glitches, by the way, at the moment. So something to watch out for, visual glitches. So yeah, caution with that one, because you're like, oh great, I don't stand a chance against that particular domino. Also something else, and I don't know if this is going to turn out to be an exploit, shout out to Killer Beezy, who posted this on his Twitter, basically saying that he won the first round, then the player rage quit, and then because he quit, he got the loss. So he lost because the player quit. That's weird, isn't it? Now, I can't remember if Battlegrounds seasons goes into an off season for a week. I hope it does, because I think it's just a prime opportunity for Kabam to look into it, look at some of the things being presented as bugs and issues, and get some fix in, because it needs to be fixed, because it just ain't good. It ain't good. Okay, next thing to talk about is the debuff detox not working. As a lot of you know, this one is in-game associated with Alliance Wars. If you didn't know, if you did know, then it's something that isn't working properly. As said here and actually showcased by Pseudo Sane, says that 6 dexes, 6 blocked hits don't trigger debuff immunity. It's a bit disappointing from a planning perspective. A lot of officers spend a lot of time, especially when you get the furthest top reaches of Alliance Wars. Planning is very, very important. And look, I understand from, like, you know, Kabam's perspective, bugs do happen, but this is so much of a regular occurrence. In other games, you don't see this volume of bugs and things not, you know, going into the game correctly. This is a very disappointing thing for Alliance officers, especially when it comes to creating a strong defense and kind of prepping, because that's a lot of the time that officers do is prep a lot for seasons, and especially when it comes to new tactics come in. The officers then plan around them and go, okay, well, we've got to change some things. Yes, it keeps the game mode fresh, but also keeps it very kind of strenuous and gives officers more overload to then kind of look at situations like this and go, okay, we're changing the defense ready to deal with this. But then if a bug happens and a tactic is kind of scuppered, then it's like, look, we're in a bit of a pickle here, because then we've got to, like, and this is what, within 24 hours, 48 hours ish before the start of the new season, that people are prepping to, or kind of like, you know, looking at it like, oh god, what do we do with this one? And in answer to a question, only the tactic will change, right? New nodes will be the same, so path 2 being the placebo buff, boss made is the same, whitelist and blacklist remain the same, and it's correct. The change is the one mentioned. So what has happened is that a couple of days ago, Kabam has said that throughout Alliance Wars off-season, our team has been working hard attempting to bring Alliance Wars tactics into appropriate working order. There is a persistent yet tricky bug that is proving to be difficult to resolve. As a result, and to ensure a more smooth launch and execution of Season 38, we're reverting Season 37 tactics for both Tier 1 and Tier 2. Adjustments have been made to the official post here. So our one before the last story is all about Relics. As you know, I posted a video earlier this week about Relics message. Due to potential issues with Relics, we have temporarily disabled the feature. We're actively investigating this and will resolve it as soon as possible. We apologize for any inconvenience. That was a weird message. and brought a hell of a lot of confusion for players that saw it. A lot of people did not see that message. So what is going on with this one? It's a bit of a weird story. Well, I think that message was a placeholder. I think a lot of us have come to that particular conclusion, but it does make us a little bit kind of raised eyebrows, like kind of like Rock, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you know, raising the eyebrows over this, because we're a bit kind of like, yeah, okay, a little bit suspicious about this, and could be very sus. Of course it could be. So, Relics, right? As Kabam said, that this was like, they didn't really get like why it was there. Don't know why this message went out. Could be a placeholder. We disabled the message. Of course you should have disabled the message. Why was it there for the first place? Yeah, intriguing. And there's also like the questions that raise about when they're going to be released, and that's the point we're going to get to, like the release date for it. So they're not releasing on Wednesday, but as Kabam Mike says, Relics aren't going to release until later this month. If we mentioned Wednesday somewhere, let me know and I'll get that fixed. Don't think it was ever mentioned it was going to be Wednesday this week, but it was mentioned it would be in November. I now come to the thought process that this is going to be, and I actually think that we said that at the start of this video, saying that we kind of look at Cyber Weekend as being the big test for the future of MCOC. We've definitely got to consider that what will happen with those deals is going to be very important, and this means predicting Cyber Weekend. Like a lot of people said, Rich, what's your thoughts on Cyber Weekend? Do you think we're going to get like certain like deals? So last year Cyber Weekend, like deals looked like this, where they were separated out into different increments of units for different things. Are we going to have something that, and especially for Paragon players, I would expect to see higher volume of stuff when it comes to shards of Relics, Alloys, Embers. I also would expect to see 7-star shards and rank 5 materials. Those are the high-end items now that players are looking to get, especially if you're Paragon. Will Thronebreakers see a lot of those particular things? I doubt it. Will Cavalier see anything? Again, I doubt it. But what I wouldn't doubt is them seeing things like, you know, Cavalier players seeing things like 3-star or 4-star relic shards, and as well, you know, Thronebreaker seeing 5-star, 4-star and 5-star relic shards, and for Paragon should be getting at least fully formed 5-star relics and 6-star relic shards and 7-star shards at the same time, and rank 5 materials. That's what I would look to expect from this, if Relics are coming into the game then. And I would expect Relics as well to come into the shards to then come in that particular time. That'll be when it'll be towards the end of the month, the end of the side quest. And what you would have done is 100%ed those particular side quests and then be like, well, what do I do with all this stuff? Where do I go? So Kabam are going like, right, you can 100% the side quest, great. And here's the relic shard section. Go to the relic shard, get some relics. And also, it's Cyber Weekend where you're going to spend some money, and then you can just go and get a fully formed thing, and that's what we're doing. We're money, money, money. It could be a case that we're not idiots. We all kind of like know how it goes when it comes to these particular mobile games. So that's hopefully giving you an answer then. I personally feel they're going to be out towards like close to Cyber Weekend, either just after or on the day of. So therefore you can go like, I'm going to get a relic. Oh, exciting. Oh, I want a relic too. Everyone goes to spend their money. That may be the case. That may maybe not the case. But any case. I said case a lot. I'm going to stop saying case. That's the case of the Relics and the potential release date. And this week's arena we've got to do predictions for is Killmonger and Beast, to use the basic. And the predictions I'm going with for Killmonger is that a 6-star I'm going with 80 mil. I just kind of feel as well it may even go lower than that one, but with the recent Gwenpool arena and just an interest, like I think people may even want to go a little bit higher, especially because the champion might be quite good for the likes of Battlegrounds, and just because people want to collect the champion. But we'll go with that one, 80 mil. 5-star Killmonger 30 mil. Again, I think that's fair based on like recent arenas for Gwenpool and other champions that like interest. 6-star Beast I'm going with 35 mil. Think that it could go, you could go 40 mil for that one, but I think 35 mil might be a sneaky little grab there, especially where the Doctor Strange arena went recently. And 5-star Beast 30 mil, but to be honest, that'll probably go flat 10 mil, to be brutally honest with you. Could be a good opportunity to getting some decent ranks in arena for less amount of grind, but again, that's down to if you have the time. And do bear in mind there's going to be a new like quests and stuff to do in game, and also there'll be the Deadpool or Platinum Pool based events, which look, that's going to take up a lot of players' time, and availability to grind arena is going to be very important. So we'll have to kind of consider what's going on with that one. But that's been the predictions. We'll look at the results on the Monday MCN. Thank you as well to everybody that supports the channel as a YouTube member and as a Patreon. You're on screen right now. Thank you very much for keeping the love and support. Also those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. If you're about last night, we had some fun playing Battlegrounds, which I was honestly like jittery all the time, but hey, 3 wins and a loss isn't too bad, so I will take that. Thank you very much, and renew your Prime sub by, you know, doing the thing. Thank you very much for the support. And finally, I got some other content located on screen. It's new content day, everybody. So I'll see you later on for new content and coverage and stuff like that. Tons of videos to make later on. Cheers, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.